Hey gamers, what's up? It is Dom here back once again. Today is the last day of the TEW9 Developer Journal. Pretty exciting as tomorrow we're going to be going into the demo part of the game here. So let's go through days 14 through 20 here. We got some pretty big ones as we're heading into the final stretch here. So first off we got the career goals. I think this was crazy. When I left off my last video, I was like, oh my gosh, the next thing is probably one of the most exciting things for me to read, is that each wrestler now is going to have their own career goal, meaning that, you have people like Brock Lesnar who's like, I just want to make a lot of money, or CM Punk, I want to headline some stuff. People who want to be belt collectors, Chris Jericho, maybe like travel all around the world. So it goes into that here. People who, also want to work in specific regions of the game also. And I really like that, and especially if they're like adapting also based on events that change in the game, their personality changing, who they come in contact with. I think just making the game world come more alive, that's going to be pretty big there to see. So all right, next up we go into alliance loans. This one basically is saying that, hey, the restrictions is just, it's out of there. So it's just, the possibilities are endless. We got the training facility style. So if you're a hardcore company, you can focus on like, I only want hardcore wrestlers. You're like, I don't care. Don't give me a lucha libre wrestler. And my training facility, don't give me a technical wrestler, high flying. Just, I only need psychopaths in the training facility. So we have hiatus attributes, more expansion hiring, contract overview, pick pack defaults, tackling addictions and bad behavior. So there's more. You have an intervention and call out there, which is pretty cool. Day 15. So this is a big one here, as we were talking about previously. There was stuff added for like events that could happen, as we were reading, where there might have been like an earthquake or a tornado, a snowstorm. It's like now people can't show up to the show. How is that going to play into, could you just pick a different region? Actually, no. So here is the pre-show build-up. I like this a lot here. So you start off, you have who can have the night off. Then you go into your venue selection. Based on that, there might be an event that triggers saying, hey, there's a snowstorm because you picked up in New York at this time of year. You can finalize the broadcasters here, the pre-show incident, as I was mentioning. There's the booking team meeting, which goes back into your booking team that you've established here. Then you go into locker room incidents, which is more about, your wrestlers and stuff going on there. You can address the locker room as we've done before, and then you go into the whole booking portion there, and then that goes into the post-show roundup, which then you can address the locker room, get a review of the injuries, financial report, have the popularity recap, go into the media scrum. So pretty exciting there for the post-show and pre-show. I really like seeing that there. Next up, we have the custom divisions. This one is going to be a lot of fun for people, as I was mentioning, missing the main events, upper mid-carders, mid-carders, stuff like that. So instead of having the pre-written divisions, you can now create your own there. So even though we don't have the return of stuff like that, this is where this might be able to, put that all here. So we have the figurehead heirs. So, in the terms of like, you have John Cena, who's your figurehead, but Roman Reigns is going to be next. That'll be pretty helpful there. Next, we have the block taping pay discounts. So the pay for each wrestler goes down, which each multiple show they're working. There's been some financial reworks, furthering the storylines, one-sided storylines, new dispositions, which is pretty cool to see. We have hero and villain, blue eye and heel. I thought at first it was like some reference to like Yu-Gi-Oh! So like, are we going blue eyes white dragon, and what was it, like, I think red eyes black dragon. So we have a subscription broadcaster profits have been tweaked, and note on some alterations based on the spillovers there. Day 16 goes into our organic biographies, and basically how this is going to be changed to on the demand. So only when it loads up there. Hopefully that will improve performance in between daytimes. So I really hope that's the case. Next up, we have AI managers. So managers typically only worked for your company. Now they'll actually play into effect for the other companies there, and they'll get old clients, new clients. I imagine this will work like the stable system, where on the first day it'll be like Triple H has left DX and Stone Cold Steve Austin joined it. It'll be like Paul Heyman has dropped Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman has Curtis Axel now. Like it'll be one of those type of events that pops up that you'll be like, oh, visible AI pushes, so we can see the change there over time. Owner booker histories. I really like this. I think that's pretty cool. So as someone who does like the progressive, 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, 50 years in the future, how much has a company changed if it's still around, and to see that, especially with mortal bookers or mortal avatar characters, this could be something that plays into, hey, my user character died, I went to another company, now this person took over, maybe I went back to that company. There's like that era of who are the different bookers going into effect there. Cheap finish effects have been tweaked. Free picture mass ad, I love that. Improve the job hunting here. Belt history record names, just in stable names, I like that. Auto title history removal. Day 17, people are probably going to love this one. Setting the TV location to a very fixed area, region, or venue. So if you're in ECW, you're only doing the Hammerstein Ballroom. If you're off in TNA, you're doing that place off in Florida, I believe. You got the Performance Center for NXT. Places like that. So it's good to set those up there. Geographical title belt. So this can only be defended in this one area. We even have some groupings and presets here, as you can see, with like American Canada, American Mexico, the Commonwealth, Japan, Hawaii, so on. Hopefully it adds more. There we have clashing coverage to say like, hey, there's pay-per-view versus non-pay-per-view content. So hopefully this will expand the broadcasting that you'll be able to select there. Broadcasting failure blocks. So whenever there's a recent failure, it seems like the game's going to really like punish you with any of the broadcasters in that same size. So you're going to have to be careful there on that one. It looks like pre-booking availability has been reworked. Avatars now get pay. I'm very curious how this works in particular, because this could be like a detriment to those local to globals, road to glories, where like I have a badass avatar character, but I have a company that just cannot afford them. So is this going to be a case of like your avatar character drains the company dry? I personally think for the avatar character, it should be a percentage of the company that they make each month. So if you don't make any money, the avatar doesn't get paid, I would say preferably. But if they did make money, it'd probably be like a low value percentage, so he's not like gobbling up money. That way also you can use that avatar paid, so it balances out to be like, oh, we were really profitable, so I took this pay in a smaller company, but if I was in a bigger company, I'd take even more pay because we're even more profitable. But if I'm like in a local company where we're kind of bleeding money for a little bit, but I guess that's where the balance of like you have 3 years before you can go bankrupt now. So I don't know. Let's see how the avatar pay really, plays out there, I feel like. So attribute templates, which is pretty cool for just go in and be like, boom, comedy workers, hardcore workers, garbage workers. I like how it says hardcore / garbage workers. It's funny. Pay-per-view overuse, so like you can't go in and just spam it. You'll get notification there. Add a tribute show. So like if someone dies in your game, you can go and just add it there. That's pretty cool. Hopefully there's a lot more additions to the integrating the editor into the actual game, AM and PM view, it sounds like. So hopefully there's just a whole bunch there. Day 18 and 19 is our shotgun additions here. So We have increases for the searchable handbook, loading screen profiles. So now you can add in pictures there. So if you don't care about seeing like the recommended wrestlers, or wrestler profiles, you can just go and like look at pretty little pictures. We got beefed up searches, death dates. Now this one I had a question about. I don't think it was fully addressed on this one with the death dates. Is that if you have a wrestler, and I say you're like the Benoit situation where he dies on that day, he's going to drop dead. All right. Is that going to trigger in the game? I don't know if this is going to be, if we read it together, it says that specific death dates for workers now be given, removing the need to look it up or need use part of the biography to store the information. So it'll be like birth date, death date. They would preset via the editor and filled in automatically during gameplay. So like over time, if like, hey, 5 years in the future, this guy dies, it'll add that. These options doesn't require extra work for database makers unless they want to use them. So I don't think it'll be like a triggering event that says, hey, this date happened, this guy died. That might be helpful for like a War of the Immortals thing also. So background graphic toggle, background images can be toggled for those who are not using GIF format images. Audible clicks, I'm really curious on that one. Auto text selection, avatars as mentors, pretty cool. Broadcaster upgrade the cost. Other sports commentators showing up. Contextual no-shows, unmaskings, tag team match history, tournament matches. I like that we can see like what's left to book, other TV show listing, improving the microphone skills. You can mock people and be like, you sucked out there, go get better. Contextual worker names, ultra flashy finance, Hall of Fame induction. Be like, hey, put them in the Hall of Fame. Day 19, removing the children from the alliance, and active title warning. This one says that it is set for if you haven't defended a belt in more than 2 weeks. I think that should be bumped up to 4 weeks. Personally, I think 2 weeks is a little too short to be getting pinged left and right, especially if you're either a company that does one show a month, or if you're in the early days for your company, or if you're a company that does it bi-weekly, or you do a traditional like pay-per-view style, like you only defend the belts on the pay-per-views. Like I don't know, I feel like that should be bumped up, or you should be able to change it there. Maybe like notification settings, hopefully will be added there, so I can say, hey, remind me every month that I haven't defended these belts. So, or maybe like after so many shows, like, hey, you booked 4 shows and this time hasn't been used. Maybe that's another thing. Monthly legal cost here, so it's kind of like the balancing with the big companies. Separate stable logo location there, renaming large to huge. Spillover request, public broadcasting, free to air, so name to public broadcasting. Whatever on that one. Scripted dialogues here, setting the hiring rules for the companies. Marketing costs there. Eye candy matches, I think those are always like a funny one. Anytime we ever discuss these in like TEW, just like an eye candy match just to like goes through the roof in ratings. So you got the alter egos here for certain regions. We got the what used to be known as the ager section, now it's been made to picture changes, so it covers more than just ages. So it takes into account the unmasking. It goes into like the picture change settings here. We got the editor name, search, play-by-play. So instead of announcer, all is now by play-by-play commentator. I'm not personally a fan of that one, but I get it. So tax break, this one I thought was a funny one when I told my buddies. So morality wrestling product has been added, and it's there, but it's it was there in TEW 2020. So a special effect or the morality wrestling is that you get a tax break due to educational religious nature. That's just a fun one. I kind of trying to remember that company that they had like early 2000s. Like I don't know if it was before TNA or it was like early TNA. Also, they did this in conjunction, and I just think that's funny. Just get a tax break from that. So there's the new meta right there. Run a religious company and get rich. So. Align screen controls there, additional event prefix, clearing up moves, picture folder check, injury duration, email, easy to removals. So day 20, we made it to the final stretch here. Last day, celebrities are in. You got A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, Z-list, or fads. Celebrities can be working in your shows, they can be doing commentary, they can be doing matches, they can go and just sing, be a part of like angles. They're gonna be boosting the attendance. I really like this. I think that's pretty cool. I hope it's easy. I really hope someone just makes a database and it's just like the celebrity pack and it's just everybody and their brother. Like everybody ever who's been a celebrity from time, and you can just go and you can import them. I hope that someone just goes hog wild and props off if you're that person and you have a pack that you can just let people go and import these celebrities into the databases, because that is going to be cool. Honestly, as much as the Who just adds everybody and their brother into his mod, I could just see that already. He's going to go in there and he's going to be like, boom, we got our Tiger King right there. So like, all right, and celebrities can be created in game and can regenerate just like any other worker. I'm really curious how that works. But of course, you wouldn't use this on someone like The Rock, who is primarily, a wrestler. So then we have the mini competitors are now integrated. So anyone who's under 5 foot for a male or under 4'10" for a female, you get a special attribute that categorizes them as a mini. This helps out for the mini divisions. You can only do mini titles also. That's helpful. Of course, you can book them normally. So as a celebrities adds extra realism for the game. So I think that's a lot of fun. Celebrities and minis, tons of fun. Specifying the amount of falls within the match, pretty good there. Removing the companies before the game starts. I really like this one because it's like I don't have to go and kill the company off in the database. I can be like, all right, hey, I'm playing. I know you can do where you can cut off certain regions, but if you're like, hey, there's way too many companies in America, maybe chop down this many in this database I'm playing with, that's going to be really useful there. Edit graduations en masse, AI talent hunters been improved, owner balance has been improved, and this is where you can generate new entrepreneurs to come into there. Attack team name aging, so in-game edit schedule. We have the daytime time slot. Afternoons are named to daytime. I like that, and takes into account the morning TV show. I believe we covered this already, but it talks about other TV shows appearing. So general tinkering and improvements. Public beta, how it works. It'll be coming out 27th of July, so tomorrow, when this video is posted at least. Also, heads up there, I will be streaming good bulk of the day, whether it's with myself, a bunch of friends, for the beta portion there. Yeah, public beta will follow the same format. It'll be the full features January through March, so you get those 3 months to go through and play. Get a head start working on databases. If you guys got any ideas for what you want to see us play, we only have 3 months, so we might jump around a good bit between saves. I imagine I'm going to go and convert some real world saves over there, just to go try them out. Let's see. As for preview editions, happy to try and patch and reasonable suggestions. So out of everything we've seen here, and I love a lot of this stuff that's been added, there's only a few things that are left that I'm like, damn, I wish we would have got. The UI thing is just, it's out there. Like we ain't getting the UI thing. And it is what it is. I think it's just limitation, sounds like, of the engine, but it's not like the end of the world on that one. The second one being the like God mode or mortal mode, where we can set it where no wrestlers are going to die of like a normal aging, like organic death. They can only die from like the Kenny deaths potentially, something like that, where like if you're doing War of the Immortals and everyone's alive in their prime, you don't want to mess around too much with like new workers. You want to just work with this set of wrestlers. I think like something like that should have been added, maybe more expansion, as he was mentioning, with removing companies from the database before you start. Maybe that's something also to do with like I was mentioning, like a God mode, a mortal mode, different like play modes though for like sandbox. I wish that would be like expanded on there. Personally, I don't know if we could still get something like that. Alrighty, and then we know, of course, here in terms of the game, it'll still be 34.95, so not bad in terms of everything's been going up in price. So that's one thing I knew people were like worried about is like, is TW going to get hit by? Are we get some TW inflation here? So, of course, we have the Saturday, 3rd of August. So the following Saturday, we'll get the full game there. And yeah, of course, there's the FAQ. Here you can go through, and there's now a forum for the game. There's going to be the modding section here also for the game. So go and hit that up. Keep an eye on it there. I imagine like the other sites will start adding in mods also. So. But that pretty much covers it here today, going through the last of the dev journal. Like I said, I will see you tomorrow for TW9. Very excited here on this one. And it's good to be back playing some TW after all these years, honestly. Like from really diving into it in like 2013 through 2016. Wasn't as like hardcore into it in 2020. But I think 2000, not 2000, it's just TW9. I was going to say 2024, 2024. TW9, I think, is looking pretty good. So I'm excited to see what this one has for us. All right, everyone. We'll see you all next time. Peace out.